Today I'm going to be breaking down the top 3 easiest strategies you can use here at Townhall 16 to 3-star any base. So I'll be honest, at Townhall 16 there is no such thing as an easy strategy. You're still going to have to put in a little bit of work, but there are some strategies that are far easier than others. So the strategies we're going to be jumping in to take a look at today do need a little bit of practice to get good at them, but they are still far easier than some of the other strategies you could potentially go for, like a Queen Charge Lalo. So the first one we're going to be breaking down today is going to be Super Witches. Now Super Witches are one of the strongest strategies ever since you unlock Super Witches at Townhall 12. They are super strong, and honestly this strategy is fairly easy to execute, other than the one thing that we pretty much start off the attack with, and that is the fireball from the Grand Warden. But let's let this one play out and I will explain it to you as we go. First things first, we're going to want to make sure we have that Grand Warden set to ground. It's very important because if he's on air, those healers are not going to be able to heal him. We're then going to use a Yeti. You'll notice the Yeti unfortunately didn't get too much value here, but it was able to clear out this building, which is enough to let us do that funnel. Next up, what we're going to be doing is creating enough of a path here for the Grand Warden. Let him take out a few buildings. We're then going to use those invisibility spells like you guys can see right here, and ideally what we're looking to do here is get that fireball over the invisibility spells and into a key defense. Then of course the radius from that fireball can go out. You can use those earthquake spells to take down the remaining defenses. Unfortunately here though for us, the Grand Warden gets pulled up towards this top section of the base a little bit, which means he's actually going to focus on this mortar rather than the builder hut or ricochet cannon. But it's not the end of the world, because with that damage we're still going to be able to get a good amount of value, clearing out the ricochet cannon as well as a few other defenses. But ideally we were looking for that fireball to land here, so we could have also taken down that scatter shot. And before our Grand Warden goes walkabouts over there towards that right hand side, we're going to lure him over with the rest of our Super Witches. They are going to be used to push right into the core and do the majority of our damage. All the meanwhile, we have the siege barracks alongside the Queen coming in to help create that funnel on the opposite side of the base. You do need to be careful when we see those clan castle troops starting to come out. In this particular example, we see all of those balloons. We want to make sure we get that poison spell down as quickly as we possibly can. Now, be careful you don't lose too many Super Witches to the outside of the base. We want all of them to push right into the core to get maximum value from all of our spells and from all of our healing abilities. When we use that king ability, you want to make sure he is in a really centralized position, because of course we have those earthquake boots on him. They are going to be popped in the core of the base, and you guys can see opening up absolutely everything. The back end going to be allowed access with the use of that jump spell. So typically what we're looking to do here is the first entry into the base, we're going to use that super wall breaker. The second entry is going to come from either the jump spell or the king's ability, and then the third entry is from the opposite one. Typically though, you're going to see that king's ability going off right in the core of the base, and the jump spell used towards the back end to give that final entry either into the town hall compartment or one of the final few compartments. So far, so good though. We have plenty of those Super Witches still alive. Coming out of that siege barracks, we actually had super minions, which is really interesting. Typically on a ground-based strategy, you're going to see more ground-based clan castle troops, but super minions actually work wonders coming out of that siege barracks, because they got that long range shot that can take out defenses and can take out buildings from a distance. That monolith potentially going to cause us a few issues here on the back end, so we're going to go ahead and freeze things up right there. But so far we are looking very strong. Royal Champion's going to be coming in with that Hog Rider puppet. That is a very good equipment for this strategy, because it's going to allow our Royal Champion the little bit of assistance she needs, and those hogs actually work very well alongside the Super Witches. Pushing through the back end, we've only got a couple of defenses left up on this one, including that Tesla farm, but the Royal Champion is going to be swinging through and clearing out a whole load of them by herself. self. Super Witches though are just so strong here at Townhall 16, and you guys can see honestly there wasn't too much to set up in this strategy other than that fireball at the start of the attack. But if you guys do enjoy these types of videos, the top 3 easiest or even the best strategies at all of the town halls, make sure you go ahead and subscribe to us here at the Barracks. I'm doing my best to get you guys as much content as I possibly can, and it's awesome to see so many of you guys supporting the channel and showing so much love and support. But as this one finishes up, they are going to be able to bring in that 3-star with the Super Witches. So we'll jump in and take a look at the second easy strategy here at Townhall 16. Next up, we have those infamous dragons, which are just so strong, and they're not going to be coming in by themselves. We are going to be using that Royal Champion charge. Now, we know for a fact that the Royal Champion is going to be taking a little bit of a nerf on those Electro Boots, but even with that nerf, and even with them only at level 6, they are still super strong with the use of those invisibility spells. So we're going to be coming in here, we actually have the Phoenix as the choice of a pet on our Royal Champion. That's in case she goes down early, she's going to be able to have that little bit of extra firepower because we have 8 invisibility spells currently left up. I'm not actually sure the total we started with, you guys would have been able to see. And of course you can copy that army link in the description down below if you want to pick this one up. But for me, this is one of the strongest and easiest strategies you guys can use, because all you have to do is every 4 seconds use another invisibility spell to keep that Royal Champion hidden and to let those Electro Boots do their thing. We're getting her all the way through on to that Town Hall. Basically what you want to do with this charge is try to get maximum value, keep her invisible for as long as possible, and let her push through onto that Town Hall. When it comes to the abilities, we're of course going to have the Electro Boots, but we also have that Haste Vial. You see the Phoenix bringing her back up right there, letting her use that ability and get maximum value as we finish off the Royal Champion portion of this attack. Now you do actually have a revive spell in this particular attack as well, so keep an eye out for the revive spell potentially coming down on the Royal Champion as we progress through to the back end of this one. But you'll see RC has done a fantastic job clearing out multiple key defenses and that all important Town Hall. We do end up using that revive spell on her, and she's also going to be able to catch the help of the Eternal Tome from our Grand Warden. Dragons and those Dragon Riders are going to be pushing through on this one. King with his ability up there on that top section, also doing a great job just helping to keep the rest of those dragons through into the core of the base. Unfortunately, we don't get quite as many through into the core as we wanted, a couple starting to split off, a few Seeking Air Mines now starting to pop off, but we're still pushing through and we're still looking very good indeed. Queen is still with ability in hand as well, looking very strong. Couple of dragons still up as well as those Dragon Riders. We've got Yetis, which I believe did end up coming out of that Stone Slammer. You can also bring more dragons or Dragon Riders in that Stone Slammer as well if you so desire, but it is also worth considering that unfortunately if your Royal Champion does go down before she's able to get that Town Hall, you may need to consider using the Blimp to potentially take it down. But a couple of troops left up here, they are going to be pushing on through and they're going to be able to finish off this base for that all important 3-star. So even with that nerf coming on the Electro Boots of the Royal Champion, we are still going to see a lot of her in the meta, I feel, with all of those invisibility spells, because this strategy is honestly very simple to execute and it's super strong. And the third strategy we're going to be jumping in to take a look at is arguably one of the easiest, and that is the Root Riders with the Valkyries. I have already made a specific video on this one, so if you want a more in-depth guide, you guys can go ahead and check that one out. But we're going to be jumping in to do a little bit of a brief breakdown. First of all, we are going to be using our King and our Queen just to help set up a little bit of a funnel. They're going to be coming in from one corner of the base. We have a couple of Super Barbarians going to be coming in as well. They themselves are also going to be creating a funnel of sorts. Jump spell going to be coming in right there just to give us a little bit of access through into the back end of this one. Then the rest of the funnel is going to be created with the Siege Barracks, and then we're going to come in with the rest of our troops. That includes the Valkyries, the Root Riders, the Druids, and our Apprentice Warden alongside his grandpa, the regular Grand Warden. Pushing on through here, we've got that king doing some nice work in the core. Unfortunately, yeah, he's going to end up getting picked off by a few of those balloons. Luckily for us, we have the Phoenix down on him. Queen giving some access with that jump spell up towards the back end. One thing I would say on this particular attack, we were a little bit quick with our Valkyries, which means we ended up seeing a lot of Valkyries walking towards the outside of the base, which is definitely not ideal for us. When it comes to using those overgrowth spells, you want to use them on the heaviest portion of the base, and you want to try and time them that you use it just before your troops are getting there, so they can continue clearing up all of those buildings. They're going to push around that overgrowth spell, and they're going to finish up with those buildings themselves. Smashing through this one, you guys can see, yeah, we're looking very, very good. Again, we've got those electro boots on the royal champion. We have the queen still with her ability as well. We have a rage and a freeze, all of which are going to be used to help us get through these final few defenses as we make our progress towards that town hall and the second star. But like I said, the overgrowth, of course, sometimes can play against you. You can see it holding up proceedings right here. Our troops arguably are just about ready to take down this section, but now it's going to finish up, and now we can go ahead and clear out this town hall and these final few remaining buildings. Those infernal beams, yeah, it looks like actually the town hall is going to be the final building that we're going to be taking down, but it's going to go down regardless for our second and third star, giving us a perfect way to finish off this video. So if you guys did enjoy this one and you want to see more, make sure you go ahead and subscribe to us here at the Barracks, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.